Tired of feeling like your local customers can't find you, don't know anything about you, and all that information that you put out there seems to never land in their lap to gain that information? Stay tuned. Today, we're talking about the SEO trends of 2020. What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Show Tiberio Show. First, let me start off by saying this. It has been a few weeks of just pure out craziness mixed with all this between the COVID-19 issue, dilemma, pandemic, whatever the heck, put a title to that thing, whatever you want to call it. Between that and the fact that Top Results Consulting is exploding. I don't know if it's because of the pandemic or what, but all I know is the last few weeks, it has been insane. Our clients are just doing some incredible things. And a lot of individuals have just come to us. A lot of business owners have just been coming to us these last few weeks saying, hey, I've realized it's like the light is now shining. I got to dial this game in a little bit. And it really inspired us to put out this week's blog and do this episode right here. So I know it's been a few weeks since we've thrown anything out there, got some information out to you guys. I do apologize. I'm going to take personal responsibility for that. I'll be honest, between being incredibly busy and just the COVID-19 thing is just really taken. I've gone through a wave of emotions around it and my feelings around it. And that we'll save that for a whole other discussion and topic. But today we're jumping into something that has really been a very popular topic the last few weeks, especially around with our clients and really gaining a lot of results for them and what's been working. And we're going to talk about trends, SEO, or what's known as search engine optimization trends here in 2020, what we see happening already and where we see the rest of this year going, especially looking at the COVID-19 situation and the impact that's having on business and what that's going to cause now moving forward for small business and, more importantly, local businesses, and the importance of this area or this marketing focus known as search engine optimization. So let's start by talking about this. SEO, as I'm going to refer to it in short going forward. You guys know SEO equals search engine optimization. So SEO is simply about improving the user's experience, right? When search engines out there, Google, Bing, Yahoo, all of the AOL, all of these different, and there's many more popping up all over the place. But when a search engine like that is looking for information, when they make their changes, algorithms change, that kind of stuff, it revolves back to this. It's simply about making the user experience improve. So as a business owner, you got to look at your SEO strategy as just that. How can we improve our users' experience? You all know your prospects are looking for information to make a decision, to make a purchase decision, to make an educated decision. They're looking for information, and your ability to show up, your ability for that particular information that they want to show up where they are at, is a direct reflection on how user-friendly your business, whether it's a product or a service, how user-friendly you as a company are. Hopefully that clears that up. Because when we really look at it to that level, it's like, man, this is a lot more than just, hey, can I show up number one in Google, right? SEO is a whole lot more than just, can I get the first ranking? It really is about improving your customers' user experience when it comes to doing business, working with, educating themselves around your product or service. Now, while the basic principles of SEO have not really changed too much, they've pretty much just kind of remained the same over the last year. There's been some minor nuance changes, but in the grand scheme, like the big picture of how SEO works and the principles of it, they've pretty much stayed the same. However, the recent release of updates or the change, you guys hear this referred to a lot, well, the algorithm changed. Well, the recent updates to some of the algorithms inside of Google and the way that SEO is working, what that means is that SEO is becoming more focused on precisely what the user wants. So Google, right, because they're the behemoth, we're going to pay attention to them. You satisfy them, you're going to satisfy pretty much any other search engine out there. Google's looking at it as this. They realize that it's about the user, and their entire focus, the way they're changing their algorithm, is to ensure that the user gets the information that they want when they type something in. That is the difference between the previous kind of general gist of what SEO is to the way that Google's kind of looking at it today. Right? As we look at trends in 2020, they're really hyper-focused on giving the user. Now, the user is your prospect. The user is your potential client. The user is the person that's going to eventually do business with you, exchange money with you. So they're looking at it saying, how do we improve that by giving them exactly what they want? If they're typing this in and searching for this, we want to answer that question. We want to be able to provide that information to it. So they're changing their search engine algorithm and the little spiders that are out there to go look over all the vast amount of information that's on the World Wide Webs and that all these companies like you and I are putting out there, and ensure that they're enhancing that user experience by giving them exactly what they want, by finding the exact information that's out there. Now, that sounds like a lot, but it's really beneficial to you, the small business owner, because if your competition isn't paying attention to this, it's easy to just outdo them. It's easy to show up in front of because the Google is favoring that. If you can give the user the answer better or more frequent than your competition, then your stuff's gonna get in there. So let's take a look at a couple key trends or key areas to really focus in on your SEO campaigns. And this really is a marketing campaign. SEO is not something that you just do and then end. This is an ongoing marketing strategy. It should be part of your yearly marketing budget to set money aside to do SEO work for your business and your online presence. If you're not, you're missing a major opportunity that's just kind of laying out there. It's there and you're just not capitalizing on it. But it starts here. You've got to focus first on building a very strong technical SEO foundation. Now, that's a lot of big words. So let's break that down here a little bit. SEO is not limited to just the kind of the usual, as you've heard people maybe talk about in the past, or even some of these gurus that are out there, that you got to have all these keywords all over your pages, right? SEO is not limited to just the on-page aspect, right? On-page SEO is important, but that's not where it ends. That's not the be-all, end-all. Some of you guys have probably been on these websites in the past. You start to read them, and you're like, I don't even know what it's saying. I don't understand this. What kind of language is this company even using? And it's simply because they've just keyword stuffed the crap out of their page to try to play this game of on-page SEO, and they've lost you, right? They've lost the human touch, and that's going to become important here in a second. You're going to understand why. So what we mean by a strong foundational piece is we have clients come to us all the time, and they want to start playing in the advanced side. They want to get more advanced with their SEO. They really want to dial in that strategy and that campaign. They want to get serious about it as a primary or a very good portion of their marketing piece for the year. And we look at it, and their website isn't built to handle it. It isn't a foundationally strong aspect. So we actually named our beginning package at Top Results Consulting the Foundations package. And here's why. We can't get into our content packages or our advanced SEO strategies with our acceleration and our domination type packages if you're not built right? It'd be like taking a house, building a single story, 3-bedroom, 1-bath house, and then saying, oh, I want to add a second story, and realizing your foundation can't even handle the weight of it. And now you got to go back and do all this work to the foundation to be able to add that second story to your home. Same thing with your website, right? There's cheap platforms out there: GoDaddy, Wix, MindProtein, RealFlow. I'm thinking of some of the common ones that our clients come to us with. Squarespace. There's a lot of these platforms that are out. ClickFunnels, for example. People come to us all the time. They got a ClickFunnel base, and that's it. And it's like, it's good. It works for the interim type thing, right? But all of those that I just named right there are not strong foundational website platforms to really get you to the next level. So we start everybody with our foundation package. So what does your website need to satisfy specific criteria to really be considered a strong foundation? And it's these couple items right here. Number one, you need to optimize your URLs. Number two, you need to ensure that your website's navigation, that navigation bar, that nav bar at the top, is flawless with proper link building in it, meaning it goes to the right places. It's flawless. We don't hit any end pages or 401 redirect or oops, this page no longer exists type things. Number three, you need to fix your website code. There's something known as the H1 and the H2. The H1 is kind of like your online address. Well, I can tell you right now, our number one client that comes to us in the real estate space comes to us from a particular program and got their website built. They spend $6,000, $8,000, $10,000, $12,000, $15,000 on this website. It's built out of a platform. Sure, it's built on WordPress. However, it's a templated thing. It's built out of RealFlow and MindProtein products and Niche Builder and all these. And it's the same thing as everybody else. And it's got one major issue with it that will never allow it to rank. And that is it doesn't even have the proper H1. And it basically is telling Google that it is some sort of a dwell report type website. They're a real estate investing company. And their websites, and this is thousands and thousands and thousands of people that we know of have this issue, right? And that's just one primary example that we see like crazy at Top Results Consulting. So you've got to fix that website coding issue before you could even get into, and because of that coding issue, it's probably a certainty that you will struggle and you will never really get to the level of rankings that you want for your website. You also got to understand the use of suitable title tags, alt tags on your images, right? Images are very important. People love video and picture more than they read. They're visual individuals. So tagging proper suitable tags and alternate tags on your images. Also, most businesses do business locally, meaning where they're at, that's their primary area. Not all businesses are global or national. So your local SEO starts to become super important. This means that you need to optimize your website for local search. I can't tell you how many times we've looked at somebody's website. We get on a complimentary consultation call. You guys can grab yours. We'll do a complete website dissection and tell you what's working well, what's not, where you got issues at, where do you got gaps at. Just simply head over to topresultsconsulting.com and book yourself a complimentary consultation call right there. We'll jump on a quick Zoom and do it. I'll throw the link down in the show notes of this as well. But we jump on these all the time, and businesses don't even have anything pertaining to their local market on their website, let alone be optimized for local search or local search engine show up. Google My Business is huge for your local site. If you're not registered with Google My Business, get your business set up and registered with Google My Business. And there's a lot of things that you got to pay attention to there to ensure that we get the most juice out of that to really show up. Utilizing local imagery. Right? If you're a local-based company, you should be using imagery that represents the local area. Again, it goes back to improving the user experience and getting them the information that they want. And also other local content. Now, a little ninja tip, strategy, whatever the case, having dedicated local pages. Right? Local pages are really something that is super powerful from a ranking side in the local SEO strategy or local SEO campaigns. Another big one that we see all the time in this list, and again, this is like all the stuff that we do inside of our foundational package right here, is your contact information. It can't be different all over the place, and it's got to be pretty consistent. And I should say very consistent across the entire site, especially on your platform, your website. It should be consistent, meaning you shouldn't have 5 different phone numbers going on. You shouldn't have multiple different email addresses all over. Your address should not be different in different spots or not be fully there in all spots, right? We should definitely have our address in there correctly, right? All of these kind of things kind of fall into it. Now, once we have a solid foundation in place, now we can move on to this second major trend or the second major focus point here in 2020, and that is to focus on the user's intent, your prospect, your client, right? Historically, SEO has focused simply on, right, people playing in the SEO game. They've strictly just kind of focused on the golden keyword, like, oh, I want the perfect keyword for my business. And that's great. And there's some really cool things. And finding these golden keywords are important. Don't take me wrong here that suddenly that doesn't matter. It does. But it's a lot deeper than just having the perfect keyword. What Google's starting to look at, and some of you guys may have heard or may not have heard of the acronym NLP. Now, I'm not talking neuro-linguistic programming, right? That's a different version of NLP. I'm talking about natural language processing. Natural language processing. What this means is that the user's intent more closely links naturally into what it is that they are saying. So NLP works by making this kind of correlation between the user's intent and the search terms. It's more of a natural response. So what do I mean by all of this? This is a big mouthful right here. It means that it's more important than ever for your website's content to be written for the user. Right? I go back to what I said earlier, keyword stuffing or shoving a bunch of words that really just don't make sense when they all come together. It sounds like a giant run-on set. That was a strategy known as a black hat strategy. It was a strategy back in the day. Stuff the heck out of a page. It'll rank at some point because it's got enough of these things in it. Problem is the user can't read it, can't understand it. Google is getting smart. They're changing. Your content on your page must be written for the user, and it must tie back into utilizing the correct keywords in a more natural language processing pattern, right? And the more content that you do this with, the more of your content on your website that you have, blogs, pages, longer content forms, right? Don't worry about your website being flashy and all these bells and whistles and pop-ups and all these little flickery things that are cool. And it's about the content and how it reads to the user. Now, final thing I want to cover today on this episode right here, focus less on the algorithm. Quit focusing on it. Don't worry about the algorithm so much. Right? This is kind of our final trend that we're seeing. If you can get away from just solely focusing on just the algorithm and shift your SEO efforts, the resources into satisfying your user's goal. Put yourself in the position of your prospect, your potential client. They're on your website. What is the goal? What's the outcome? What do they want? Focus on achieving that. And just look at the updates in the algorithm as kind of Google's way, but also your way. You should look at these updates as a way to constantly improve your strategy. So as an update comes out, don't worry, don't focus solely on trying to play just to it. Just look at it and say, hey, can I upgrade a little bit? Can I do something different? Can I improve what I'm already doing based on this new algorithm piece? And does it help my user's intent? It's kind of been the consistent theme across everything we talked about here today. It's about the user, not about you as the business. And that's a whole other topic we can get into. Majority of websites that we look at are all self-centered, ego-stuffed. Ooh, whoa, look at me. We are the best business in the world. And that's all that they talk about. Nothing on there is about their prospect. Right? Clean up that message, and you're going to start to see a much better result just simply by doing that. So when you're sitting down after this episode's done, you got some ideas in your head, and you're starting to plan out that SEO strategy. Focus. Ensure your attention is firmly placed on the user's intent. The more we can cater to the user, the more we're like best friends with Google, because Google is catering to the users. So let's just help Google out. Let's cater perfectly to that user. Give them exactly what they want. Stop kind of puffing your chest up or whatnot. And for those of you guys that are saying, man, this is really good. This is really helpful. We've got some work to do on it. Absolutely. I agree, because every business out there right now, more so than ever, thanks to COVID-19, and more people have got to get online, and less people can get to the actual physical location. So they're shopping more online. They're looking more online, whatever the case is. People are just going to be afraid to go out. So they're going to do more online. Now's the time, right? 2020, these are the trends that we're seeing, and COVID-19 has just kind of amplified that a little bit, kind of maybe pushed it a little bit faster. But for those that want to get this a little bit more serious, want to understand a little bit deeper into the SEO strategy, what goes into it, taking some of the stuff that we just talked about, you can get the full report on our blog, topresultsconsulting.com. Head over to our blog. You'll see the blog article that goes along with this episode. I'll link that down in the show notes as well as go ahead and go grab yourself a copy of the 5 secrets businesses need to generate non-stop leads. 5 individual secrets. These things are simple. SEO is one of them. The foundation of your website's a piece of it. There's 4 others that go along with it. You can grab your copy, download it, go through it. It's a pretty in-depth report in there. You can grab that on our website, topresultsconsulting.com/secrets. We'll definitely link that up in the show notes as well. And enjoy. Get out there. Take action on your business. Figure out what's the most important thing you need to work on and dial that in. We all know the business landscape is changing, right? And this is something I'm going to spend the last couple minutes here of this episode just kind of talking a little raw and real with you guys. Business is changing, environment is changing, the world is changing, and more importantly, your prospects are changing. What do I mean by that? I mean this. Business as we knew it about 2 months ago is not the way business is going to be going forward. Things are changing a little bit. People's beliefs are changing. The way people want to interact around individuals or each other is changing. Now, I'm not saying that everybody's scared or whatever. This isn't some sort of a political stance. It's just, let's talk real here for a second. The way things are happening, the way businesses are conducted, if you've got a physical store location, you might be kind of restricted to the number of people that you can get in there. If you're a business out there right now that hasn't had any online type of piece for your clients, your prospects to do business with you. You sell a physical product out of a brick and mortar place and you don't have an online store, you're losing opportunity. Because more people, they're going to be afraid to go to stores, or they're not going to want to deal with. Maybe they're not afraid. Maybe there's somebody like me. I'll tell you right now, I can't stand going to some of the stores simply because I don't want to deal with all the new rules and regulations and processes and the mask and the 6 feet distance and the feeling like I'm in a mousetrap to get in and out of the store because I got to follow arrows everywhere I want to walk, and I got to stand here and only here and nowhere else. Your prospects are feeling the same pain and frustration. So by not just focusing on the SEO side, but understanding, this kind of gets into some of the stuff I talk about in our 5 secrets report to generating nonstop leads. understanding that change that needs to happen in your business and the way that just your business, I'm not saying you got to go change your audience or change your product or service. Just look at how is it that I'm putting it out there, and is there an area that I can impact my customer base by providing more, by doing more. Again, just like Google and the algorithms and the SEO side of things, really focusing on the user. Don't focus on you as the owner of the company. Don't focus on the company so much. Focus on your prospect, your client. Can they get the information that they want and they need to better understand if they should do business with you or if they should do business with your competition, or is this even the right purchase, product, service, whatever it might be? Again, it's always a blast to hang out with you guys here on the Show Tiberio Show. If you haven't already, leave us a little rating, a review, comment, like, share. If you know somebody that could benefit from this, I encourage you, hit the little share button, send this over to them, email it, text it, whatever. Put it up on social media. Tag us at Top Results Consulting. Tag me at Shawn Tiberio. Let us know what you've been taking from these episodes so that we can continue to bring more powerful, impactful, opportunity type information to you so that you can grow, scale, take your business to another level, ultimately making more profit and making a bigger impact on your customer base. We'll see you guys next time on the Show Tiberio Show.